Heard. How do I find out if they hear me?
Read the chat.
No, I don't see any chat.
Sure.
What?
I'll ask them to type.
Could someone type me hello? Someone out there say hello? H-E-A-R. Oh. Don't have a mic. Oh. Okay, great. You can hear me type. Very good. Great. Okay. We're on. Very exciting. We'll try to do this slow and clear. It's great to see the names of you guys and hopefully get to hear from you. It keeps cutting out. I'll go slower. Yes, Bud? Is it getting better? Can it just come down the hill? What? Oh.
I think you're going to.
Okay. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to move ahead and hope you can hear me. You can see that the technology is just a start, but we're looking forward to good things. If in a few minutes, just somebody send me a message that this is being heard. I'm going to jump right into the subject. I want to give thanks. Oh, we hear you. Shkoyach Chaim. All right, this is very exciting. This has been a new thought that we had. We are at the beginning stages, and we hope that it will continue well. I have to give a shkoyach to Josh Goldberg, whose house I'm sitting in. Nice, Ollie, good to hear from you. Oh, so what does this mean? I just got to know. Daniel's over here already.
Mm-hmm.
That means anything?
It means we can hear him.
We can hear him. Great. Okay. Daniel, you speak up whenever. Okay. Let me talk about the subject. We're going into the 3 weeks. I didn't want to talk about the 3 weeks because it's a depressing time for many of us. No chasnas, no music. We are going to have the different swimming and washing. But the period is coming up, and we need to address it. I want to tell a few stories. I once heard a question posed by Rabbi Eisenman of Baltimore, of Ner Yisrael. He was talking to teachers, and he asked them the following question, which you guys should think about too. A boy asked him, Rebbe, I'm learning in yeshiva. The learning is going well. My family, Baruch Hashem, well. We have parnasa, Baruch Hashem, and health. I'm not really sure why I should want Mashiach. Why should I want Mashiach? Things of Baruch Hashem going well? Question is what you guys would say. I'm going to jump. Usually I would ask for your response, but I want to use the time. He said like this: if a person thinks that everything is status quo, is okay, something's wrong. A person who doesn't miss and mamish yearn, like the title of the Shiur, for Mashiach and for Geula, and feel that his connection to Hashem is lacking, Chas v'Sholom, that's the worst goes. The Neveh Sholom says, in the name of his father-in-law, the Birchas Avram, that a Jew who makes peace with Golis, that's the worst thing that could be.
Speak a little faster.
A little faster. Good. The word is I can go faster. Great. Okay. Now we're just checking on the equipment. Fine.
It's too fast. I can type.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. If you need me to go slower, I can go slower. Good. Nice. Much better. Oh. Oh. Here we go.
Rabbi, can you hear me?
Now I can. Daniil, beautiful. Go ahead. Nice. Okay. Daniil, we're up to. Can you hear me? Am I going too fast now?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Let's go.
My microphone.
Beautiful. Mamish. There's like a little taste of Geula over here. I'll tell you a Meirdik Maisa I heard a few days ago at a Sheva Brachas. I was at a Sheva Brachas of a friend of mine who was a chassid of the Slonim Chasidus. And in this Maisa, what happened was, 80 years ago, this Neveh Sholom came to Eretz Yisrael, and he came, he wasn't sure if he was going to stay, he ended up staying. He came with a big bag of kvitluch, of notes people wrote to put in the kosel. And he told people he would put it in the kosel, he would daven for them. After the first visit, he wrote back to them and he said, I'm sorry, I didn't put any kvitluch in the kosel. I was too preoccupied. When I got to the kosel, all I could think about was the fact that the Shekhinah wasn't there and that the Jewish people are in Golus. And I couldn't even think about everyone's personal requests and personal needs. Not that Chas v'Sholom that isn't important. Not that it isn't important, but he couldn't think of anything else. And we spend a lot of time, Rabbosai. We spend a lot of time, Baruch Hashem, we're busy with things, mitzvahs. But the focus of Klal Yisrael, of the fact that we're lacking, is a problem. It's a reality. Not a problem, it's a reality. And the main idea of what I want to say, there's more to say, but we shouldn't be making peace with our situation. you hear a piece of news, you hear something chas shalom about that's going on in Israel, whatever it may be. Chavetz Chaim is well known for having heard of earthquakes. He couldn't sleep. That's a reaction that we should have. We should think, how could this be? How can we still be in here? Now, this is not me this Chassidus or both sides. This isn't just like, for the tzaddikim out there. The Gemara tells us in Shabbos, as we all know, that one of the 6 questions we're going to be asked is, Tzipis li Yeshua. Were you looking forward to the Yeshua? Were you looking forward to being connected to Hashem? There was a big tzaddik that this mamash a few weeks ago had a dream from the Chavetz Chaim, who told him that time is very, very close. We're holding very close. It's the Chavetz Chaim Maisa that happened. You can do whatever you want with the story. But there was a Maisa that Chavetz Chaim came to a big tzaddik here in Yerushalayim and told him, it's coming close. Everyone should be mechazik themselves. Now, a person can ask themselves, what do I gain by having a tshuka, having a desire for Mashiach? What does it do? What does that accomplish? So the Stephen Shalom brings with the Baal Shem. The Baal Shem HaKodesh says like this. He says in Shemayim, our tefillas go up. Our tefillas go up to Shemayim. He says, but there are certain levels in Shemayim. And the higher up, the bigger the impact. And he says that the words of tefillah, are gashmi on a certain level. They're produced from our mouths. They have to do with the physical world. And the Baal Shem says that it only goes up to a certain level. Above that level is all of the ritzonos, all of the desires of Klal Yisrael without the words. So when a Yid has a tefillah and he davens for geula, so the words go up high, but the desires go up even higher. And the impact, the higher up it is, the greater it is. Now, one of the difficulties that we deal with, you guys are in, I think I see Shmuley over here on the list. But I know, Baruch Hashem, I see Spuds over here. But we're all in Golis. But in particular, in the States, you wonder day in and day out, what does it accomplish? So one thing is, Emunah Pshuta. Rabbi Akiva, he saw the rock, and it was a drop, and another drop, and another drop. So the question is, which drop made the hole? Oh, Baruch HaMavoy, Jay. Nice to have you aboard. So, which drop made the hole? The 1,000th drop? The 10,000 drop? Every drop made the hole. It just took time. It was another drop and another drop. And the Emunah Pshuta of Klal Yisrael is, for all of the generations, that another tefillah is another drop. And another Ratzon is another drop. And another not getting used to it is another drop. And you can sit, Rabosai, in traffic. You can go onto the subway, and you could think to yourself, Rabbi Charlop, we need Mashiach desperately. Daniel, you could sit in traffic, bumper to bumper. I know you try to avoid it. But when you're sitting in traffic, chas v'sholem, and I don't want you to, if you use your time well. Oh, Sani, beautiful, very nice. Shalom Aleichem, Sani. So, if a person sits in traffic, or they're in a line in a store, they can think to themselves, Rabbi Shalom, we need Mashiach. We need Mashiach. There was the Apter Rav, someone once came to the Apter Rav, and he told him, he said, Apter Rav, I have this problem with Parnasa and my family, this issue. So Apter Rav says, and can you make peace with the fact that the Korban Tamid wasn't brought today? Did you lose sleep from the fact that there's no Korban Tamid today? That there's no Beis HaMikdash? That's okay by you? So again, it's a little bit, on one hand it's a Madrega, on the other hand it's not a Madrega. See, peace of the Shua is for all of us. Ani Mamin is for all of us. Let me pause, gentlemen. Anybody want to type in something, ask a question, anything on your mind? If not, I'll go further. Any questions on the floor? No. Great. The Gemara tells us in Yuma that the time that the Beis HaMikdash was being destroyed, in the first bias, so the Kruvim, the two Kruvim that were on top of the Arna Kodesh, whatever those figures, the angels or the little children, they were hugging each other. They were hugging each other. So all the Meforshim ask, how could they be hugging each other? What a time to be hugging each other. How is that possible? The Beis HaMikdash is being destroyed. And the idea is the same as we mentioned before. Because the Rabbi Shalom told us at that time, he showed us that we weren't Zochah to a Beis HaMikdash. And when a person realizes he's distant, he feels, Rabbi Shalom, I know I'm being sent away. I know it hurts. But I want to be close. So on one hand, the Beis HaMikdash is up in fire, and at the exact same moment, we're mamish arm in arm, we're mamish hugging Kivyochel the Rabbi Shalom. So when we get to the, I'll get back to this, so a few more points. But when we get back, when we come to this time period, it's on one hand, it's a period which is heavy, it's hard for us. Which Dave is this? Which Dave? Dave, which is this? Dave Martz. Who's Dave Martz? Anyway. Oh, nice. My goal is good. Beautiful. So, I'm just trying to keep tabs. But if a person comes to this time period, on one hand, it could be depressing. On the other hand, it could be a time of tremendous hisarus, a tremendous yearning. A person could live a different life and go through the exact same things. They can go to the store and buy some cereal, and he'll think, Rabbi Shalom, I want to eat this cereal in Yerushalayim. Everything. There's no end. There's a few things we need to talk about. There's a few things on the mice. What do we focus on? So there's a famous and Meridika Maisa of Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman tells a mashal, which you guys may have heard before. It's kedai to repeat it. In the mashal, Rav Nachman talks about this time and where we're up to in this generation. And he says there was once a king and a province. The king was a very good king, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the waters of that kingdom became poisoned. And he didn't know what to do. There was no way to get waters from somewhere else. It wasn't like today, you could bring in water. There was nowhere else to get water. And he called his beloved and trusted advisor and asked him, what do we do? what happens? What do we do? What? So the advisor tells him, you should know, Adoni Melech, I'll tell you what happens over here. We have a problem. This is not a regular poison water. If a person drinks this water, he goes crazy. He becomes meshuga. Goes meshuga. So there's nothing we can do. Adoni Melech, there's nothing we can do. But one thing, I make a suggestion. I make a suggestion that you and I put a dot on our forehead. So the Melech says, why? Why should I put a dot on my forehead? What does that do? So the advisor told him, he says, there's no way of stopping us from going crazy. But at least you'll recognize that I'm crazy, I'll recognize that you're crazy, and we'll know that we're together in this. Well, I have the, Neveh is like a bunch of guys with dots on their heads. If people walk around and think like, what's wrong with you? You got a dot on your head. But the idea is that a person should know that things aren't normal. We get used to things and then we should think, no, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Chashom, you read a newspaper, you look at the news. The first thing is not to make peace. Not to make peace with what we've made peace with, the goals that we find ourselves in. Not our personal goals, not our friends' goals. That's one thing. Number two. This is Beinenu, gentlemen. This is like one of these things I have to say, it's subtle. In the Kedusha of Musaf, of Shachris and Shabbos, we say, Mosai Timloch B'Tziyam. When will you reign in Sion? We ask the Baruch, when are you going to come back to Sion? So Sion, the Nesiv Shalom tells us, is the gematria of Yosef. Yosef and Sion are the same gematria. What does that mean? What does it teach us? He says like this. Yosef represents, let me take a step back. A person has a tshuka, has a desire to come close to Hashem. Tshuka, a desire, ahava, love, it falls into the klipas, chas v'shalom. It can fall into things that are not kedusha. It can fall into taivas, which we know Rabbosai are very distracting. You can't hear anything now? Is that anyone else having the same problem? It says on the screen that I'm actually, maybe speak up. Turn up the volume. Are you okay? Daniel, are we alright? Daniel? Daniel, you with me or no? I know you're good. I want to know if Daniel's good. No, we lost Daniel. Alright, everyone out there should daven for Daniel that he should get back over here. Oh, no, didn't get Daniel. No, we're still at. Alright, anyway. No, you have to be nice. David, you have to be nice. Anyway, so it says, Mosai Timloch B'Tzion. When are we going to come back to Tzion? Tzion is Gematria Yosef. So Daniel, so Yosef is the one who represents that even though there are ahavas, there are loves, and there are chukas, and there are desires which fall, they fall to places and to situations which we don't want them to fall to. We get involved with taivas that we all know what we're talking about, Rabbosai. We know the test of Yosef. And that test, we have to say, we want to come back to Tzion. We want that the Kedusha that is meant, and all of the desire that is meant for a Jew should be picked up. It shouldn't be lost in Golis. It shouldn't be lost to the taivas that are not the real taivas, that are not the real connection that we want. So we want to work on things of Kedusha also. Rabbi, obviously, to finish up, Sinus Chinam, when we're worried about the covet of Hashem, we have to be worried of the covet of the Jewish people. And that for us can take very specific and concrete forms. I think we lost our friend Cordo for the meantime. It is a little distracting, but it's okay. A person, they daven, if you daven for yourself or both sides, we should all try to do this. Daven for somebody else. If you're thinking about something that you want to do nice for yourself, think about trying to figure out what your friend needs. Have the other person in mind. So let's just go back. This period, Rabbosai, the 3 weeks, the 9 days, it's not an easy period for most of us. It's a time of crying. It's a time of crying. We don't like crying. We don't like the pain of the golas. We don't like the pain of the physical. Listen, we have 2 fasts coming up. Chasron, we shouldn't have to go through them. They should be times of simcha. But if a person takes this time period and gets shaken up by it and says, Rabbi Shalom, I want to be close. I don't want to take things for granted. I want to work on loving every Jew. I want to look for Hashem wherever I may be. I want to take the desires that have fallen to places that they don't belong and elevate them. I'm willing to cry, but it's a cry of yearning. It's not a bechi of yush. It's not a crying of giving up. It's a cry of wanting. So when we come to these days, and what they should mitzvah only be for the good, we should look and say, Shalom, my heart is hurting, but Baruch Hashem, I'm alive. That means, like Rabbi Sternberg's famous mashal. When you don't feel anything, when the line is flat on the chart, it's up and down, Rabbosai. We got to feel. Okay, Bezos Hashem. I hope that I was heard. I hope it was appreciated in terms of being together. Next week, Chaimel. I'm glad you mentioned. So we're going to work on the quality. Do me a favor. Be in touch with, I guess just write back to Josh over here. Again, a shkoyek to Josh. Josh will give you an idea. Beautiful. I'm on. David, we're good. Now. Okay, wonderful. Now, Rabbosai. I'm not going to make an appeal the first time. Beautiful. But we want to build it. The main thing at this point we want to do, okay, David, we're good. We'll be in touch, David, in terms of trying to make it successful. But the first thing is, Rabbosai, that's it. The first thing is, Rabbosai, try to talk it up. Let's see what we can do and get the guys involved. Bez Hashem, the mash should be hopefully giving a shiur next week. He showed interest. Baruch Hashem just went to David Goglance's chasna. Mazel tov, it's Shem Simcha by all you guys. Oh, welcome back to Neil. I felt empty. I want to tell you one more word, Rabbosai, and then we'll finish up. I want to tell you a word. It says in the Tisha B'Av, we have time till Tisha B'Av, I don't want to rush, but it says in Tisha B'Av davening that we're in Sion, Ein Yoshveh. and the dwellers of Zion are not there. So I want to tell you, I saw in a siddur of some group of people, I don't know who they are, they changed the words. They said, we're back in Zion. We're back in Zion. So what are you writing when we get back to Zion? We're back in Eretz Yisrael. On both sides, a mother is sitting at her table. And there are 9 kindlech sitting there. And there is a 10th that's lost. And the 10th is walking around distant from the mother. And the mother cannot contact and cannot reach. Does the mother say, I have 9 at my table? That appeases the mother, that makes her calm. Her child is not there. There's another child out there, and Rabbosai, we're talking about the other way now. The situation of Klal Yisrael is the other way. There's 1 child at the table and there's 9 walking around. You know what I'm talking about, Daniel, over there in LA, and you know what I'm talking about, I know where you guys all are, you're in Baltimore and you're in New York, but the kindlech are walking around, mamish, they're lost. And Neveh Onlinr, we have Yush, we know the bunch of us is watching out over us. But we should say, Ein Yoshved, that Zion is already built up. The kindlech are lost. They're gone, they're walking around. We should mitzvah Hashem, we should daven hard. But we shouldn't have to be going through fasting. We should go through times of only simchas for all of us. That these days coming up, they should be days of simcha and of rejoicing. Rabbosai Bez Hashem will be in touch. Please send feedback. Let's spread the word. We'll Mitzvah Hashem do this regularly. The more you want it, the Rebbeim are available during the summer. Baruch Hashem, Josh has been absolutely wonderful about it. And Bez Hashem, be mechazik each l'reyehu, each one of them mechazik ourselves, and that schus itself, Bez Hashem, will help to be zochah together this year, Be'ez Hashem, to be together if the rebuilding of Binyan Beis HaMikdash, the building of Beis HaMikdash, and Mashiach b'mheira of Yameinu. Amen.
Ask if ask questions.
Shkoyach Nina. Anybody, what's that? What am I asking here?
Anyone wants to ask questions?
Any questions, Rabbosai? Anything? Okay. Just thanks? Questions? Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Baruch Hashem, Daniel, I look forward to it. Wonderful. David, I'm glad you got a chizik. Rabbosai, also write in what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about. Also, the other thing is, send me times. Tell me what times are good for you guys. If this is a good time, this is excellent for us. All right? But we'll be in touch, Bez Hashem. So I don't know. We'll send an email sometime. Let's see. Today's Tuesday. We'll send my good. Again, to Ellie. Ellie, where are you? That's Ellie. Me is Ellie. What? What's that? Who's me? Oh, it's right in the bay. Oh, no, I'm saying who's me?
I don't know.
Oh, Palo Alto. Oh, you don't know? Oh, good. It's Ellie. Okay, good. Good, Shkaya. All right. No, concentrate. Okay. And Rabbosai will be in touch. It's Mamash and Big Chizik. And it's a shame we should Ish L'Reo, Omer Chazak, we should be Mechazik each other. And we should, so we'll talk about times, talk about what you want to hear. And, okay, Bez Hashem for Korah. All right, Rabbosai, we'll be in touch. We'll send a message, hopefully send an email the next day or two before Shabbos. Chaim Zaykezon will be in touch. Shkoyach, a big chizik for me.
Rabbi,
Thank you, Daniel. We'll be in touch. Shabbos, good Shabbos. Okay. I'm off. Okay, Zagazan guys.
Sounds off. Video for you still on. True. Yeah.
This guy.
This guy.
This is what? This is